No, face to you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
It's the picture.
Good work.
Good evening.
Wow, what great stuffing and standing room only. I love that. Don't get any more chairs because then I can say we had standing room only. It's an honor to be here and I'm blessed. Goodbye. Ah, come on, have you been right? I like to do it my own way. Okay. But I am honored to be here and it's been a pleasure working with this group here, getting to know them. Rob moved over here because a real estate company I'd done some work for, he found out that I'd come over and start working here, so he decided to come over too. I'm just kidding, but it's great to see you, Rob. You know, your greatest asset, as you maybe have heard, if anybody's heard me speak before, is your mind. How you use your mind dictates everything. Most people are always looking at what's happening in the marketplace, what's happening in the world. What's that to dictate how I respond? The truth is when you learn how to create a life from the inside out, everything changes for you. And when why I'm even up here today is that Jennifer and I were talking about it, and recently she said, "Hey, we're the #3 volume real estate company in the state of Utah." I said, "That's great." And it reminded me when I was #3, and I used to play professional tennis. And when I was playing the senior circuit, I ended up #3. Now at #3, that's so close to #1. And so I put my whole focus, and I'm going to teach and coach you how you do that, but I feel I have to do it myself first. And I became #1 from #3. And I said, "Jennifer, this year we're going to #1, and we'll do anything to have it happen. Anything ethical and of the highest order." I thought maybe I should throw that in. Just a thought came in. But, but one of the things that I love about this company and seeing with you all today is that one thing when I've been working with Robin for a year longer than Jennifer, and I've gotten to know Robin really well. And one of the things that we talked about that kind of created even this opportunity is that, all right, so Presidio has the best splits out there. So there's a reason to be here for what you're making on your splits. Am I correct on that? Okay, but it's got to be more than that. I said, it can't only be money is incredibly important. I'm going to talk about that, but money is very important, but it's beyond the money. What I feel a brokerage firm can offer. And so part of this whole concept is about offering education and having you all perform at a higher level. Everyone wins when everyone's performing at a higher level. Part of my background, and Jennifer and Robin have met some of my past. They've met Ben Zobrist, World Series MVP for the Cubs, 3-time, All-Star. How do you become that? He made a statement. We had an event at my house, and he said, I wasn't the best and most talented guy out there. I was the most focused. So if I can help you become the most focused and success, we're all going to have a lot of fun, and make a lot of money together in doing it. I introduced them to a 3-time gold medalist. Again, what was it that she did differently to win gold medals? And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So when I talk about it today, yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, but it's not about me. It's about each and every one of you. If you decide to sign up for this course, it's going to be more about you than me, but I want to give you a reason for even listening to me with some of my background. There is some of you, how many have seen the docuseries on my life? 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 6. So you're going to have a link to that, and that all that shows you is that there's always an opportunity to make the impossible become possible. It's only impossible because it hasn't been done. Then you do it, and now it's done. I've done a lot of things that people say are impossible, but I won't go into that much. I really want to talk about my real estate background that even Jennifer and Robin I haven't really talked about, because as I was thinking about this, I really wanted it connected to my real estate background. So when I was playing professional tennis on the tour, I was watching my mom create one of the most successful real estate brokerage firm in North County, San Diego. She had offices in Solana Beach and offices in Encinitas. Anybody know that area? And Rancho Santa Fe, it's where I lived before I decided to move here. And then I was watching my brother develop one of the largest architectural firms in San Diego. A lot of San Diego has been reshaped because of my brother. A lot of those high rises you see my brother designed. Petco Park was all part of his master plan for the city of San Diego. So I grew up, and even though I was playing professional tennis, I was seeing all these things and develop. So when I came back off the tour at first, we decided with this kind of talent, let's have a real estate development company. And so we built an office building, we built condos, we built apartments all through La Jolla. We had condos. Vista, California, we had rental units that we built, office building in Solana Beach. So I dove into that coming off the pro tennis tour. Did you know that, Jennifer?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I did. Okay. I talk too much. Anyway, so I really got to see this industry from a very good vantage point. But as things went on in 1980, construction loans went to 22%. Some of you are not maybe old enough to remember that. I remember it greatly because we had purchased 26 acres on the water in Cardiff, 160 acres in Rancho Santa Fe. That's worth millions of dollars. But I knew how to orchestrate things. But with 22%, it was very challenging to get it to work. What I know now, I still could have worked it. I just didn't know. I didn't have the information I have now. That was 41 years ago. So I signed personal guarantees to everything. I'm like, hey, everything I touch is golden. Not. And so I lost, 36, stone broke. Not a penny to my name, because everything was taken because we couldn't figure out how to get 22% to work. And we had jumbo loans coming that we couldn't perform on. So it was a great opportunity for me to learn a very valuable lesson. I wouldn't suggest everyone lose everything, but you know what? I'm here today and I survived it. In fact, I would have never, ever gone up to Hollywood and become an actor in movies and television and had a hit on the radio. All those kind of things are part that would have never happened because, hey, when you don't have anything, I had nothing to protect. Why not go and do the craziness? So I'm blessed that I had that chance to do that. It led me into a journey of really cool things, but there was something in me that always knew that I'd be a coach. And it tells a little bit more in the docuseries. And now we've even had a TV series that's being picked up by two major film studios. My son here, Chase, is here, has been the kind of the creator of the whole thing, and it's very cool. It's called Radar Films. They did or Radar Pictures. They did the Jumanji series. They've done 80 some of the biggest movies you've ever seen, and then the other company does Hard Knocks on HBO. But he's award-winning director, so that will be coming out here somewhere down here in the future. It's all just happening as I speak to you. But it's been me living a life I love and learning as I go. As I said, where I stand today, when that 22% hit, I would have never lost that property with what I know now. I would have found a way that I now know how you can get your mind to see anything and see opportunities anywhere. At the time, we were just killing it. And even in fact, many of you all know, of course, now timeshare. Where did timeshare come from? Well, when things were, I had a friend that had a hotel right across the street from the Del Mar racetrack. And he was going through a divorce. He was 7th time to the same woman. That's a story in itself. But he was going through and he's about to lose his hotel, and it was run down. And it was about, and I had gone over, I'd heard this thing about timeshare. It hadn't come here to the United States. And I went to Holland and I studied the most successful timeshares there and why they were successful. And I came back and I said, Jim, you don't know this, but you're sitting on a gold mine. It's a freaking gold mine. He goes, yeah, right. I said, it is. You're across the street from the racetrack. You're by the ocean. So I coached him into shifting into losing it all to having the #1 most successful timeshare in the world of all time. I don't know if it still is because timeshare has become much more popular, but no one even had heard of timeshare before. I taught him what I had learned. But most of it still goes back in that there was things I learned from a technical standpoint of how to do things, but it still comes back to your mind, how you deal with adversity, how you take on things that can look really challenging. There's always an answer. It's always something, this or something better. Stacy Douglas is here. Do you all know Stacy? How long have we been working on my funding of my loan?
Oh, my goodness.
What? Yeah, it's been a while. I live in, huh? Yeah, if there's a will, there's a way. Even how and the only reason I'm telling you this is not to impress upon you about, oh, look at me. It's about these principles and how they work. We came over here and visited a friend of ours on Walker Lane, and we fell in love with Walker Lane, but there was no homes available on Walker Lane. Then we got the real, I had lived, on the coast. My wife says that hey, I have followed up and down the coast for 36 years. It's my turn. I want to live in the mountains. How do you respond to that? I guess we should look. And there was a property on how many have been to my home? Well, some of you have been. So there was a property there that was not on the market, but the realtor that I was using at the time. Realtor. She told me I would. She coached me on it. I'm uncoachable. I'm uncoachable. I can coach stuff.
Like cringing in our seats. Oh, he's a realtor.
See, I gotta show that I'm human up here. Yeah, I've got some things. But anyway, we found this property, wasn't on the market, but the doctor and his wife had 5 daughters that had moved away, and it's a big property. And so I didn't even want to go see it because it's a big property. My wife goes, we're gonna go see it and find out who wears the pants in the family. But the moment I walked through the door, I went, oh my God, I didn't even see the rest of the house. I said, this is where we're going to live. I looked at the agent. I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but don't show me another home. We're buying this home. And it was truthful. Now, a lot of agents at that point would go, well, you don't know how to do it. Thanks very much. I have another meeting. Luckily, she was going, oh, great. I had to come up with $1 million down that I did not have. That's a whole nother story, but it's all within the principles that I'm going to be coaching. You'll learn that. And I came up with that $1 million down, believe it or not. Then, how am I going to finance a $3.5 million loan? I don't think my credit rating at this moment would do it. Owner finance. I got them to agree to it. I knew divinely I was supposed to be in this home, but I had to kind of take each step. And if they said no, I know, okay, no. But it worked. And so then 2 years later, when that loan was due, I was able now to be in a position that I could qualify for a $4 million loan. But as I got approved, pre-approval, and it got delayed for the funding, the pandemic hit. And how many know here in this room right now what happened to jumbo loans? They all went bye-bye. So now I have a loan due, and there's no loans available. $4 million loans would, and maybe if you had to go do taxes and all of that, that would not work for me. It had to work a different way. So the reason I'm telling you this is that there's always a way if you're willing to stay in focus on, okay, where do I go from here? Even though there was no answer at that moment, I don't stop at no answer. And then I was able to find what's called a bridge loan. And so I got a bridge loan, it was 7%. And I thought, my God, that's highway robbery. Do you think it's highway robbery now? But my property had gone up, had doubled in value. So 7% is really nothing. I mean, right now is a great time to buy because people think the interest is too high. Hey, you can buy now, even if interests are high, you're going to win. And a lot of people don't even think that way. They think, I'm down because of, what the mortgage rates are. Big deal. You can, if I buy something for $200,000 less and I pay $100,000 more in interest, am I winning? I'm winning. It doesn't matter what the market is, does it? It's who you are in the market. That makes sense? So right now, when you talked about Stacy, I had to come up, I got the bridge loan. Then I had to decide, okay, where do I go from here? The bridge loan is done. And how many know Dave Kent? Anybody know Dave Kent? So I've coached Dave Kent. He's with a mortgage company, Intercap. And he says, I've got a loan at 3%. Now all of a sudden 3% looks really good. Even though that pre-loan that was like 2%. But 3% looks really good. But as this market's changed, it's like that 3% is going to go bye-bye. But somehow, miracle after miracle, we've been able to hold on to it and got extensions. All I need to do is have $2 million in a trust that I didn't have to pay me $52,000 a month. There's a solution. Have no freaking clue how that's going to happen, but there's a solution. So I focus on the solution, not the problem. And then I use everything that I'm going to coach to you over the next 6 weeks, if you decide to be a part of it, of how you go through that and find opportunities where no one else sees opportunities. So today, Stacey and I'm talking, we're ready to close. I didn't come up with a $2 million trust though. How much is in the trust, Stacey?
A lot.
10 million.
10 million.
10 million. And it started funding last week.
I could just hold it.
Oh, right. So, yeah, I know. I don't know what anyway, I'm kind of an open book because my clients know that this stuff that we're talking about, what we're doing, I live and I'm not afraid to share what's going on. Because either these principles work or they don't. If they don't work in my life, then who am I to teach it? Who am I to coach it if I'm not an example of it being successful through whatever the situation is? I had a gal who hired me, who heard me speak. This is 10 years ago. She was divorced and moved to Vancouver, and she wanted to go into real estate. And she heard me speak and decided to hire me. Do you know within 6 months, and she had never been a realtor? She became realtor. God dang it. But that's my only mistake. I'm doing okay. So anyway, she became the #1 agent in all of British Columbia. Not because she knew every aspect of real estate, but she had the mindset to see things that other people didn't see, no matter what was going on. That is your biggest asset. Heidi was going to be here. Friends of her are here. This gal I started coaching 4 years ago. Very successful company, but she and her partners didn't get along. We got the company up to 25 million a year, but she was not living the life she loved. So recently she sold her interest in it, and she's the happiest person in the world. It was a little over a year ago, decided just to be in real estate, not she buys and sells real estate. So she had 24 homes at the time and she goes, I want to move that up. If I sell this company, I want to move it up to 40. I said, well, that's a big goal, but okay. Well, she kind of is a real go-getter. 88 homes later. She was going to come today, but she had something outside this, but it shows you what can happen. And it's amazing. And yes, through that challenges, now she has 88 homes. There have been major things that have popped along the way. She lost her husband this last year, has 3 kids. But with the mindset, even through challenges, even through tough things, she's been able to orchestrate that I think it's down to about 80 because she sold eight homes this year too. A lot of times she rents them, but she also, fixes them up. And she's the happiest person in the world because she doesn't have to be in the environment she was in, even though it was a successful company. She's only 35 years old. Is that amazing? So these are real stories. This is not make believe. And every one of you have the ability, but it's about you. It's about you, not about me. We will go through principles that I've worked with the Pentagon. I've worked with Navy SEALs, Army Rangers going to war with all the athletes, the Olympic team, and major executives on this. Robin had a goal this year. What happened to your goal?
We blew it out of the box. Yeah.
A lot of times you have to reset goals the other way. We had to keep re-upping the goals because she was hitting them so freaking fast.
The goal that we set was like mind blowing in the first place, so. She was unattainable.
Up and down. Well, and you might, I don't, and you know. I shared, well, you shared it in the book, so. She had when we first started working, she had a goal of getting back to when she lost her husband, to getting back the income that he made. That's a tough goal. 3 times what he made, she's now at. This is real, but how do you do it? How do you make it happen? It's here and here. When you connect the heart, the mind, the soul, you get everything aligned. It doesn't matter what's going on. Because you are the kind of biblical here for a moment. The Lord's Prayer says, "As earth as it is on heaven." Well, what does that really mean? For me, it means that, wait a minute, I don't have to die to get to heaven as earth. So how do I look at it? How do I live my life? How do I create the faith of a mustard seed to move a mountain? Henry David Thoreau said, he did a thing where he lived at Walden Pond for 2 years, 2 months, 2 days, just to be in nature, to see what divinely guidance he could get. And one of his greatest writings said, if one walks confidently towards their goal, you'll come to an invisible barrier. And if you have the courage to pass through the barrier, new universal laws would be available to you. I live in the world of those universal laws of the faith of a mustard seed moving a mountain. That sounds crazy, but I really get a passion on coaching that. And that's what we're going to do in this program. So the one last thing I'll say is, though, it's up to you. This program will be the most valuable thing you've ever done. I will make that statement, but not because of me, but because of you. If you go into it and go into partially, you'll get partial results. That's what you'll get. I've had 4 players become MVPs in Major League Baseball. Do you think that's an easy task? They have to go and do things that other players aren't doing. They have to be willing to step forward. But here's a warning. And it's not as hard as you think, but that which is easy to do is easy not to. So I'm going to give you just 2 quick animal principles to go forward with this, and then just tell you what the program is. But we're going to be having these animal principles. I wrote a book called Be a Beast with Roger Anthony, who was lived in Pleasant Grove. This is amazing. I'm here. I lived in San Diego. I said, I'd never moved to Utah. He was my partner. You're going to move to San Diego. Unfortunately, yeah, he passed away. But he gave me a blessing in everything that he did. Created a program together that's incredible. And we use animal principles. Why? Because every one of you have instincts that are in these different animals, but we don't use them because their brains get in the way. So what have I done? Just quick 2 animals that won't be in the program, but I want to just share a quick snapshot. So how have I been able to get a 3% loan in a market that's not even possible? And how did I come up with $10 million in a trust fund that I did not have, and now paying me the money it's paying me? I use one of the principles is the grizzly bear. And we call the grizzly bear Presidio, resilient optimism. The bear knows where to go to fish. It gets in the stream, but those little flying fish are not easy. We have a video of these 3 bears trying to grab them. They can't grab them, but they stay the course. Even though they can't grab them, finally one gets it. It goes, and the other 2 bears go, that's not fair. You can just see it, look on it. This is a real video. And that's just being resilient, going, I know I'm in the right spot. I'm in the right company. I'm in the right industry to see my financial goals be made. But resilient optimism has to be there. We all are going to have times. I've lost everything. Even when we moved here, I had no clue other than I knew how to use these principles to create the life that I love. And I love sharing that. So Presidio, resilient optimism, no matter what the market is, staying true to that is a powerful gift that you give yourself. So these triggers are just things we'll go deeper into them, but they're just a trigger. So that one thought of Presidio goes, okay, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. I'm gonna be the grizzly bear through this. The other, I say big principle I used was the rhino. Well, how does the rhino fit in? Have any of you ever seen a rhino running? You don't want to stand in front of a rhino when it's running. It is so committed to when it gets going, you don't want to get in the way. So we call the rhino code, just short for commitment. Be a rhino in what you do. Be so committed, and when you add Presidio to it with the resilient optimism, the world's yours. I have the head of the Army Rangers, Colonel, that he's the most amazing guy I ever met, and so I've always called him Colonel Co. Because I've never seen a man more committed to taking, and what he's done is remarkable. And I'm just blessed that I even get a chance to coach him. But he is Colonel Co. So those are just two quick principles. Over the 6 weeks, we've got today, you're gonna get emailed, and I'll give you the link right now if you want to write it down, but you're gonna email it today, right? The link to the course. So each animal and each principle will be told over the 6 weeks. And Jennifer's goal is for all of you to hire me privately. That might not happen for a while. It might happen because you never know when you put your mind to it. It's like Robin. She's a private client. But Jennifer wanted me to have a group thing that was affordable, so you can start learning the principles and start using the principles. So it's a 6-week program. It's going to be $350. And if we talked about it, and I agreed to do it, that if you sign up for it, but it'll explain the program, go through it and really find for yourself. But you'll get $100 off of that if you sign up by when, Chase? 23rd of January. So it'd be $250 instead of $350. And I'll tell you what I charge normally, that's a pretty big deduction, but I want this company and all of you to win. That's more passion. I want to see I have 2 clients in this room that I want to live to where we go to number 1. I'm so freaking competitive.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So that rate, just so you guys know, is half of his hourly charge. So you're getting a good deal for 6 days. It's incredible. And you will not be disappointed. Absolutely.
One client the other day told me I was 1,800 an hour. Okay, what's the math of that?
I think that is right. Yeah. No, I think that's right.
When you're winning, I mean, that just, that's what you're spending, but what are you winning? What's the value? It's all about a value proposition. And money doesn't become the stopping place if you're willing to go there. That's why I said it's about you and your commitment. So we're doing a program that you literally can get in for $250 for 6 weeks. So what we're going to do is every Monday morning, you're going to get dropped a game ready. This is what I do with Olympic athletes before they're going to go for gold, or NFL. You're watching these stars are Major League Baseball players. I give them what's called a game ready. I developed it. God developed it through me. I was with the Olympic team flying to the World Cup, going across the Atlantic, 39,000 feet. I said, God, what do you have? I want to be more impactful than I've ever been. And the game ready came to me. We did the game ready before every single match. We had the best results in the history of the sport. I came back, told a friend of mine who was the pitching coach of the Dodgers. I said, you can't believe what this game ready did. He goes, will you come in and work with my pitchers? I went, okay. And then when I went there, then the manager at the time, Jim Tracy, goes, hey, will you do this with the whole team? And I said, yeah. And they won the Western Division that year, and they'd been down for a while. And so even the manager today of the Dodgers, I coached. The manager of the Boston Red Sox, I coached. Again, these principles work. And I hope you join us. So Monday, we just drop it in. You get your game ready. It's a mental thing, a visualization that will set your week. Then Wednesday, we have a half-hour call that I will coach the principles that we're going to coach that week. You'll see the whole thing when you go through it, each week what we're coaching. But I wanted something more than that. It was my son who really came up with this, because I want you guys to be able to speak. I don't want you just to be, I'm a teacher, I'm coaching you. I want you to have be able to say, hey, this is a real thing happening to me right now. How do I use it for this situation? So on Fridays, we call what's called, I guess, office hours. And we'll have a call where you guys send in questions. And we'll just talk about those questions, real life questions that are happening weekly. Because if this is all about principles and not being used, we're missing the boat. Every week you have challenges, you have different things that you need support on. That's going to be your opportunity to do that. Any questions? Jennifer?
I don't have any questions. Can I tell them how much I paid for you for a year and do the deal on your, the 50 for it?
Right, tell me so I can hear it. Yes, go ahead.
$50,000 coach been for a year. So I want you guys to know how valuable this is. This is unheard of. That's why I said on Facebook, this is a no-brainer. To have the 6-week course of the B series that he's done, it's so great, you guys. So many little situations in my business that I've had an issue or a problem. The B series have come out and I go, oh my gosh, okay, today I need to be an eagle. And that's going to get me through this project. And I won't tell you what that is because he'll obviously coach you. But this is a no-brainer, you guys, for the beginning of the year. Sign up, get this coaching. You're going to love it. I guarantee there's going to be a few of you that actually hire his strength afterwards. He's that great. So, and I'm sure Robin feels the exact same way because she's done 2 years with him. Yes.
And it's so much fun. I mean, I have so much pleasure working with both of you. And that's why this program is available, because of these two people right here. Just because my life is about, what's wealth? Money's important, really important. But my life is about the life I love. Money does play a role because I can serve more people and I've been able to manifest money. But the joy of life is living the life you love. Make your decisions from that. We even talked about it last night, didn't we?
Coaching client. Actually, yeah, I called him crying. He totally helped me understand the entire situation from a business perspective that made me realize, okay, it's not that bad. It's just, I gotta get through it, right?
The thing is, when she says, oh, I have to call him, I love it. I'm so happy that she called. I tell all my clients, Robin, you know this, we have a half-hour call every week, but if something comes up, I want to hear from you. The gal, Heidi, who, now owns 88 homes, you can't believe how many times she's called outside the half hour. But we have that success because of it. So thank you for this time. I appreciate it. Yes, question.
You have a few questions on the chat.
Oh,
And I just want to say Roger Anthony was one of my good friends.
greatest man I've ever known. I just got chills when you said that. Connor's got it. She's got it.
Oh, Tana, go ahead then.
Oh, I was just gonna help answer the chats or ask you guys. So they were wondering, is the training all in Zoom?
No, it's better than Zoom. Chase, you want to say anything about it? It's like Zoom, but you have more you have all kinds of things. I didn't even talk about the other, tools that will be in there for you. Go ahead, Chase.
Yeah, it's very like Zoom. It's a custom portal that we have, but all the calls will be interactive like Zoom with all the materials and recordings all in one place.
Yeah, all your questions will all be there. It's an amazing thing that I'm very blessed to have a son who's very talented. And so we have ongoing discussions going all within this portal, and it's just like Zoom, it's just better. And then we also I did an audio series called Beast Triggers for Business that you can listen to at any time. I did it with a gentleman I've coached, but he's one of the top business coaches, I think, on the planet. And we did it together. He does customer service for some of the biggest companies out there. And so anytime you want, I had a CEO that tells me that every time he drives to the office, it's a 20-minute drive, and each of these triggers is maybe 18 minutes long. He goes, I come to the office a totally different person. I have to choose what principle I'm going to listen to that day. So his drive time has become really valuable to him.
How do people sign up?
Well, you're going to get a link, and it's a sales page. It's Extreme Focus /Presidio. Oh, I'm sorry. Extremefocus.com/Presidio.
I think someone asked what time on Wednesdays.
It's on Mondays.
Well, Monday, no, Monday we drop the game rate. That should be in the portal every morning. And the reason I'm gonna do it fresh of it because everything changes 1 week. You know, who knows? Some of them will be very similar, some of them will be something we're all dealing with at that moment, we need a game ready for. Wednesday is when we're gonna do the thing. Chase, did we come up with the time?
No, it's not set yet.
Okay,
We'll get you those details.
yeah,
We get all.
yeah.
So Presidio obviously be number one. One of the things my team and I have discussed is, to be number one in the state, recruiting is something that we had to look at. But recruiting also brings with it a lot of growing pains and a lot of new agents that, it makes it a little bit harder to manage. And so recruiting wasn't our number one goal. Obviously, it still has to happen. But our goal to have you produce more is what our goal is, to become number one. And so bringing coaches on, things like that is what gives you the opportunity to produce more, especially in a market that's kind of feeling like a little bit of a downturn. So
Yeah, you check every downturn, someone's winning in those downturns. I want you guys to be the winners. No matter what's going on. This is what I talked about earlier, from the inside out.
Will those recordings be available like afterwards? Can we go back and review those?
That's what is so beautiful about this system.
Chase, what day does the coaching start?
The week of January 30th.
30th. Because we're giving you till the 27th to sign off. Sorry,
23rd.
I was back there.
Hey, I said,
Questions?
I didn't say realtor, and you even coached me.
Yeah, realtor. Realtor. Any other questions?
I'll never even say it again. Agent. Hey, yeah, any other questions? And from the folks at home?
Can I give a little teaser of what the game ready is?
Yeah.
So it's really about getting your mind, for instance,
What are you doing?
oh. No, I don't. I want you to save that for the people that sign up.
Okay.
But really, you've seen, I've been speaking lately, and so before I speak, obviously, I want to be ready, totally, mind, body, spirit, totally ready to deliver something great for people that come to see me speak. And he takes you through this process that gets your mind, your body, your spirit, everything ready to go out and kill it. So if you have a listing appointment, call, get me through a game ready. If you have whatever it is, I'm going to take my moonshot today and do something great. Call him, do a game ready. You're going to love that. That's obviously, if the Olympic team needed it and basketball teams and football teams, you're going to love it. Good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That's wrong. Let's do. Hey,
Here you guys.
can we do it? Amen. And if you haven't watched the moonshots, you just get it's just different stories about some of the things that I've been blessed to be able to do only with this kind of mindset. I got a presidential marital work in the Grammys. That's kind of out in left field, isn't it? How did that happen? All these things are in left field, but I live in left field, I guess.